Ever walked into a hotel and just felt completely taken care of, like you could relax because everything was handled? That's the magic an accommodation manager creates. We've got a ton of material on this role, specifically from RoleCatcher, and it seems like you're after more than just, the job description. You want the inside scoop on how to actually become one, and a great one at that.
It's a fascinating career path, you're right, because it calls for this really unique blend of skills. You need that business savvy, right?
Hmm.
To manage budgets, negotiate contracts, but then also the warmth and empathy to connect with people from all walks of life.
And that's what I love about the way RoleCatcher approaches this. It's not just a dry list of duties. They've laid out a roadmap, almost like leveling up in a video game. You start as an accommodation assistant.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it as building that hospitality foundation. You're laser focused on customer service, making sure rooms are immaculate, guests have everything they need, and of course, you're handling those inevitable little hiccups, and you've got to do it with grace.
Okay, so you're learning to think fast on your feet, but also really honing those people skills. RoleCatcher actually uses the term social perceptiveness, which sounds pretty crucial when you're dealing with, say, a guest who's just had their flight canceled.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
all about reading those subtle cues, understanding what someone needs, even if they're not, explicitly saying it. Are they looking for reassurance, a solution, or just a listening ear? That's where those soft skills come into play from day one.
Makes sense. You can't really learn that from a textbook, right? But then you level up and it's like, ding, junior accommodation manager. What changes at that stage?
Well, now you're not just managing tasks, you're starting to manage people. The guide really emphasizes the growing importance of delegation, communication, even conflict resolution, because now you're supervising staff, making sure everyone's on the same page.
And this is where those financial skills start to become really important too, right? It's not just about fluffy pillows anymore. It's about understanding how to manage budgets and make sure the entire operation is profitable.
You hit the nail on the head. And as you progress to a full-fledged accommodation manager, that strategic thinking becomes even more critical. RoleCatcher talks about developing marketing plans, building relationships with suppliers, basically acting as an entrepreneur within that larger hotel ecosystem.
So you're constantly juggling priorities, keeping guests happy, the team motivated, and the business thriving. Speaking of juggling, one thing that surprised me was how much RoleCatcher emphasizes the role of technology in all of this.
Oh, absolutely. Technology is transforming the hospitality industry. From online booking platforms to customer relationship management software, managers who aren't tech savvy, well, they're at a real disadvantage these days.
And it's not just about knowing how to use the software, it's about understanding how to leverage data to make smarter decisions, right? Like
Right.
analyzing guest preferences to tailor services or streamline operations.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting. RoleCatcher dedicates a significant portion of the guide to something they call beating the automated recruiter. Have you ever heard of that?
I have, and it sounds kind of intimidating, like something out of a sci-fi movie. It does sound a little futuristic, right? So for those of us who aren't, coding whizzes, what exactly is beating the automated recruiter?
Well, it means that increasingly your application is first reviewed by artificial intelligence, an algorithm, not a human.
Okay.
And this AI scans your resume for very specific keywords and skills that are listed in the job description to determine if you even make it to the next stage, which would be an interview with a real person.
Okay, so it's like having a robot gatekeeper deciding your fate. No pressure or anything, but seriously, how do you make sure your application appeals to an algorithm?
Well, RoleCatcher offers some really interesting advice on this. They stress the importance of tailoring your resume and cover letter to match the specific language used in the job description. It's not enough to just, have the experience. You need to make sure you're presenting it in a way that the AI will recognize and flag as a good match.
So it's almost like you're learning a new language, the language of AI-optimized resumes.
Precisely. And RoleCatcher even has this paid feature called RoleCatcher Copilot AI that can analyze job descriptions and help you optimize your application for, maximum impact.
Wow, that sounds incredibly helpful. It's like having a secret weapon in this, increasingly competitive job market. But even if you manage to impress the AI and snag that interview, you still need to be prepared to, showcase your skills and personality to an actual human being. What kind of advice does RoleCatcher offer on that front?
This is where their platform really shines. They have this massive database of, get this, over 120,000 interview questions.
Wow.
And the best part is they're tailored to specific careers and industries. So instead of getting, generic advice that applies to any job, you're getting questions that are laser focused on this role, on being an accommodation manager.
Okay, give me an example. What kind of curveballs should someone expect in an interview for this role?
Well, they have questions like, how would you handle a situation where a guest is dissatisfied with their stay, but they're being confrontational about it?
Ooh.
Or, imagine a major convention is in town and the hotel is fully booked. How would you prioritize guest requests and ensure everyone feels valued, even during a high-pressure situation?
Ooh, those are tough. It's not enough to just say, I'd be nice or I'm a good multitasker. They're really trying to see how you think on your feet and handle those challenging, interpersonal dynamics.
Exactly. They want to know you can stay calm under pressure, that you can think critically and come up with creative solutions. And the best part is, RoleCatcher allows you to practice answering these questions, either by typing out your responses or even recording yourself on video.
Wait, video responses? Like you're actually doing a mock interview?
Exactly. It's an incredibly valuable tool because it allows you to see yourself as the interviewer will see you. You can analyze your body language, your tone of voice, even how quickly you're speaking.
Okay, that's both brilliant and terrifying. I can see how helpful it would be, but also kind of nerve-wracking to put yourself out there like that.
And if you're looking for even more personalized feedback, RoleCatcher offers AI-powered analysis of your video responses.
Really?
The AI can detect things like filler words,
Hmm.
whether you're maintaining appropriate eye contact, even if your tone of voice aligns with the sentiment of what you're saying.
Wow.
It's like having a personal coach right there with you, offering constructive criticism and helping you refine those subtle but very crucial aspects of your interview presence.
That's incredible. So, from crafting a stellar application to practicing those tricky interview questions, it sounds like RoleCatcher has really thought of everything to equip aspiring accommodation managers with, the tools they need to succeed.
They really have. And beyond the practical advice,
Mm.
I think one of the most valuable things they offer is a boost of confidence. When you've taken the time to thoroughly prepare, to anticipate those curveball questions and practice your answers, you walk into that interview feeling empowered, knowing that you've got this.
And that confidence can make all the difference. It's like that saying, luck favors the prepared. So, for anyone listening who's feeling a bit overwhelmed by the prospect of breaking into this field, remember, you don't have to do it alone. With the right resources and a healthy dose of determination, that dream job as an accommodation manager is well within reach.
I couldn't agree more. And as you embark on this journey, remember to stay curious, to embrace the challenges that come your way, and most importantly, never lose sight of that spark of passion for hospitality that drew you to this field in the first place.
Beautifully said. And for those listening who are eager to dive deeper into the world of accommodation management, we'll be sure to include links to all the fantastic resources offered by RoleCatcher in our show notes. Until next time, happy job hunting. Okay, so we've talked about the skills, the tech, even those AI gatekeepers you might encounter on the job hunt. But let's get down to, brass tacks. What does RoleCatcher suggest for crafting an application that really sings?
It's about painting a picture of yourself as more than just a list of skills on a page. Remember those example profiles we discussed earlier, those real-life snapshots of, successful accommodation managers at different levels?
Right.
Those are like cheat codes for really understanding what employers are looking for.
You're right. And it wasn't just, I managed a team, it was about showcasing leadership with phrases like, successfully motivated a team to exceed guest satisfaction goals. Really speaking their language.
Exactly. RoleCatcher really emphasizes using the same kind of language that you find in those job descriptions. They even have a feature that analyzes job postings and suggests, specific action verbs and keywords to sprinkle throughout your resume.
So it's not just about having done the work, it's about being able to articulate those achievements in a way that really resonates, right? It's almost like marketing yourself, first to a computer and then to a person.
You've got it. And speaking of that human element, let's say you've cleared the AI hurdle and you've landed an interview. What does RoleCatcher suggest to really knock it out of the park in that setting?
Because nailing that interview is crucial. It's your chance to showcase those soft skills, that passion for hospitality that can be, hard to convey on a resume.
Absolutely. And this is where RoleCatcher's interview prep tools really shine. Remember that massive database of interview questions we touched on earlier?
Yeah.
They really encourage you to practice with the ones tailored to, accommodation manager roles. And they even suggest recording yourself answering them, like on video.
You know, I've got to admit that video feature still makes me a little nervous, but I can absolutely see how valuable that would be. It's like getting a sneak peek into how you come across on camera, which is something, let's face it, most of us never get to do.
It can be incredibly eye-opening. You might be surprised by, your nervous habits or how quickly you speak or even just your body language. And for those who really want to up their game, RoleCatcher offers AI-powered feedback on your video responses.
Wait, the AI analyzes your interview style too? That is both impressive and slightly terrifying. What kind of things does it, like, pick up on?
It can detect things like filler words, those ums, likes, whether you're maintaining appropriate eye contact. Even if your tone of voice aligns with the sentiment of what you're saying, it's like having a personal coach right there with you, offering, constructive criticism and helping you refine those subtle but very crucial aspects of your interview presence.
That's incredible. So, from crafting a stellar application to practicing those tricky interview questions, it sounds like RoleCatcher has really thought of everything to equip aspiring accommodation managers with the tools they need to succeed.
They really have. And beyond all the practical advice, I think one of the most valuable things they offer is that boost of confidence. When you've taken the time to thoroughly prepare, to anticipate those curveball questions, practice your answers, you walk into that interview feeling empowered, knowing that you've got this.
And that confidence can make all the difference. It's like that saying, luck favors the prepared. So, for anyone listening who's feeling a bit overwhelmed by the prospect of breaking into this field, remember, you don't have to do it alone. With the right resources and a healthy dose of determination, that dream job as an accommodation manager is well within reach.
I couldn't agree more. And as you embark on this journey, remember to stay curious, embrace those challenges that come your way, and most importantly, never lose sight of that spark of passion for hospitality that, drew you to this field in the first place.
Beautifully said. And for those listening who are eager to, dive even deeper into the world of accommodation management, we'll be sure to include links to all the fantastic resources offered by RoleCatcher in our show notes. Until next time, happy job hunting.